Lesson 10, User Management. In this chapter, we'll discuss about user management, that is creating different sub-users in a company. Super user we have created at the time of company creation. In this chapter, we can see how you can modify the rights of super user also, and at the same time create different sub-users who can log into the company and provide different rights and authorities to those sub-users. That is, you can provide certain rights to the sub-users, or you can restrict a user from entering a particular transaction or viewing reports, etc. So first of all, we'll go to administration, users, modify option. Here, as we are logged in from super user admin, so we are modifying the super user right. You can see on the screen, first option is user authentication required, yes or no. If you specify no in this data field, then you do not need a username or password to log into the company. You can directly log into the company without specifying a username or password. However, we are setting it to yes, that is, we need an authentication to log into the company. Next is super user name, password and recheck password. These options, as you have entered at the time of company creation, are appearing as it is. If you want to make any changes in the super user name or password, you can do so. Apart from that, other options are not active here, as some of these options do not belong to basic edition. They are part of our standard edition or enterprise edition, and there are certain options which are not yet enabled in the company configuration. That is, for example, option of display thought of the day. This option is not enabled in company configuration features options. That's why it's not appearing here. If you enable that option in the company configuration, you can enable disable here also. So this is super user modify option. Now we'll create different sub users. For this, we'll go to users add option. Specify username, password, recheck password. That is, this is a username Shoaib, and this user will need this password to log into the company. Next is specify voucher series group. If you want to specify voucher series group that this particular user can use, then you can specify yes in this option. And then is read controls from other user. Currently we are creating first user, so this option is of no use for us. But if you have created more than one user, then on specifying yes in this option, you need to select a user whose rights or authorities will be copied to this particular user. That is, if you have created a user and provided certain rights to him, now you want to give same rights to this particular user also, then you can specify yes in this option and select that particular user. However, we are setting this option to no. Now we'll discuss the user control. Under user control, first option is allow modification of company. That is, this user can modify company information or not. Company information, that is the information you have specified at the time of company creation, so this user can change that or not. Next is allow price change in voucher. You want this user to make any changes in the price in the vouchers that are already entered. That is, while opening a voucher in modify mode, can this user change the prices? If you set this option to no, then you need to specify the vouchers in which you do not want the user to change the prices. On specifying no in this option, a configure button will appear, and on clicking this configure button, a window will appear in which you can select the required vouchers, that is the vouchers in which user will not have the authority to change the price. Next, allow discount change. Again, you want user to make any changes in the discount already entered or not. On specifying no in this option, a configure button will appear, and then you need to select the vouchers in which user does not have the authority to change the discount. Allow markup change is similar option, that is, you want to give authority to change markup or not in the voucher modify mode. Next, allow printing of documents, that is, you want to give rights for printing of documents or not. Allow reprinting of document, that is, once a document is printed, then this user can reprint that document or not. Hide value of items in report, that is, while viewing the reports you want to display items value or not. That is, if you set this option to yes, then while viewing reports user will not be able to view the item price and amount on which the item was sold or purchased. Next is allow export of reports, that is, user has authority to export reports or not. Allow data backup, that is, this particular user can take backup of company's data or not. Currently we are setting this option to no, that is, this user does not have the authority to take backup of the company's data. Allow printing of vouchers, you want to give rights for printing of vouchers or not. And then is restrict backdated entry. First is that you want this user to enter backdated vouchers or not, and if you give the authority to enter backdate voucher, then how many days will be allowed to enter a backdated voucher. On specifying yes in this field, a backdated entry restriction window will appear, in which first of all you need to select the basis, that is backdated entry will be dependent on last voucher date or system date. Currently we are setting it to system date. Then you need to select the voucher type along with the series for which you want to set the number of backdated entries which is allowed. Here we are first selecting sales voucher, all series, and back days allowed is 10. That is, in the sale voucher user will be allowed to make entry for 10 back days. Next is purchase voucher. For purchase voucher we are giving the backdated entries right for 20 days. That is, if the current date is system date is 17th October, then while entering sales voucher user will not be able to enter a voucher before 7th October. At the bottom there are two more options, that is for voucher series that are not mentioned above. What you want to do with that? That is the voucher or voucher series you have not mentioned. For those vouchers, backdated entry should be allowed or not allowed, so you can select the required option. Click save button to save the configuration. Next, at the top is the menu rights, that is you want to give menu rights to a user or not. You can see all the menus of the Busy are appearing here. On expanding the payment voucher option, you can see add, modify, view, cancel, various options are appearing. So it's up to you. You want to give the authority of viewing the voucher, modifying the voucher, or cancelling the voucher, or you do not want to give the rights to a particular user. Here we are totally disabling the payment voucher. That is, this user will not be able to enter the payment voucher and obviously will not be able to view it or make any changes in it. You can see when this user will log in, he will not be able to see the payment voucher menu itself. Next is allow access to mobile. You can specify yes or no as per your requirement. Create financial year, that is this user has authority to create a new financial year or not. Allow overwrite of data while restoring backup, that is while restoring backup can the user overwrite the existing data. Next option is restrict grid entry deletion in sales and hide entry in reports. That is, you want to restrict him from making any grid entry deletion in the sales voucher, so you can set this option as per your requirement. At the left hand side you can see a button set master controls data entry. With this option you can set the master controls, that is the masters you want to allow or disallow in a particular series of a voucher. On clicking this button, a master controls for user window will appear, in which we are selecting the sales and means. Then we are going to set master control option. You can see here various options are appearing. So first is party, that is it's up to you. You want to allow this user to enter data for a particular party or group of parties, or you want to disallow particular group of parties or one party. For example, here we have selected Bright Electrical, so this user can enter sales voucher main series only for Bright Electricals company. Similarly, as we have set Bean Stores for Material Center, then this user can make entry in main series of sales voucher only from the main store Material Center and not from any other Material Center. So in this way you can set the master control, that is you can allow or disallow any particular master to be used in a voucher. Click save button to save the user profile. Now at the right hand side you can see a list of shortcut is appearing. We'll click the switch user button and we'll log in from the user show-up that we have just created. Specify the username, password and click the login button. Now in the transactions menu you can see payment option is not appearing because we have not given this user the rights to use the payment voucher. Now we'll enter a sales voucher. Here we are entering the voucher on 1st January. On entering the date, you can see Busy has shown a message. You have rights for backdate entries till 7th October 2019 only. You can see at the right hand side, currently system date is 17th October 2019 and we have given this user rights to enter backdated vouchers only up to 10 days. So this user cannot enter a voucher before 7th October 2019. Now we are opening a sales voucher in modify mode. Here we are changing the price of the item and Busy has shown the message that you don't have the permission to change the price or amount because we have not given this user the rights to change the price or amount in the voucher. Now we are closing the company. Again we are opening the company menu and going to backup data option. On selecting the backup data option, next we are selecting the company Omex Electrical, specifying username, show-up, its password, and Busy has shown the message that you don't have that authority to take backup of company Omex Electricals Limited. As you remember, we have not given this user rights to take the backup of company's data. So this is all we have to discuss in the user profile menu. That is how you can create sub-users and provide various rights to them. At the end of the chapter, we have provided certain exercise. You can view the exercise on screen and attempt it. Hope after going through this chapter you will be able to easily create different sub-users and provide them different rights and authorities. Thanks for watching. For more videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel.